this is Nikki. Welcome back to Nikki's Homemade Crafts YouTube channel. Welcome back to the Tips Mystery Crochet Along of April 2024. This is part 3 and the final part of this crochet along. I am so excited. You finally get to see what we were making all along, but you're still not quite there yet. So you're still going to learn a few different tips and tricks throughout in part 3 while we're finishing this really adorable, cute pattern. Again, quick reminder, I'm using Brava worsted yarn in the colors white, black, and orange, but I'm actually adding a few additional little colors into the mix. Most likely you're going to have them at home, but you can also substitute a few different versions of those colors in case you don't have the exact same ones. And those few colors, you're only using a teeny tiny bit of it, so you can totally use different colors if you don't want to use the exact same ones as me. And that is totally fine. All I need you to do is finish the project and then post it into the group. Now be sure to watch the entire video until the end because I have something special at the very end that I'm going to talk about. So very important. Watch my videos till the end. You never know what you're going to learn. Okay, we're also going to use a 4mm hook if you're using worsted yarn. As I mentioned in part 1, you could have totally used DK, bulky, or super bulky as well. Just make sure the same yarn weight was used for the entire project throughout, okay? So we're going to first start with a few teeny tiny pieces and then we're going to put the entire thing together. Shall we get started? Quick reminder, you have the written instructions as a link down below in the descriptions. You can view it for free on my website. It does have ads, but if you don't like the ads, you can join my membership where you get this pattern ad-free as well as more than 400 additional patterns. Get me on a weekly basis, teaching you live exactly what you want to be taught, and we also meet on a monthly basis. So let's get started with part 3, shall we? First, you're going to make these two small little 3D triangles. Let's call them 3D triangles, right? Because we're going to use them like this later as ears, okay? So obviously this is black and very hard to see. This is orange. I'm going to show it to you in orange so you see exactly how this is going to work and how easy it is. So let's do that. All right, remember you need a stitch marker for this. You're going to get started with an alternative turning chain or a magic ring, just like we did in part 1 and 2. You're going to make a chain of 1 to keep everything nice and tight, right? And you're now going to add 4 single crochets into the ring. Then you're going to pull and close it up. And you're going to go into the first stitch. And you're going to crochet 1 single crochet. And now you're going to attach your stitch marker. And in the following stitch, you're going to crochet 2 single crochets. In the following stitch, 1 single crochet. And in the last stitch, 2 single crochets. Now let's get into the next round. So at this point, you're going to start realizing that it's bending down a little bit. So that's exactly what we need. Okay, so I moved my stitch marker. In the following round, you're going to crochet 1 single crochet in the first stitch. Make sure you reattach your stitch marker. Another single crochet in the following stitch. And then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And now you're going to repeat that. So 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then 2 single crochets in the following. Move your stitch marker. You're going to go into the next round. You're going to crochet 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Make sure you reapply your stitch marker to the first stitch of those 3. And the next stitch is an increase, so 2 single crochets. Then you're going to repeat that. 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then 2 single crochets in the following stitch. In the following round, you're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Make sure you reapply your stitch marker to the first of the 4. And in the next stitch, you're going to crochet and increase again. And now repeat that. So 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches and an increase. We have 2 more rounds for this. You can also do just 1 additional round, depends on how big you want these ears to be. So in the next round, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. And then an increase in the following stitch. And then repeat that. So 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. And in the last stitch, 2 single crochets. Now in the following round, you're going to crochet 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. Then an increase, and then 1 more time, so 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches, and 1 more increase. Now if you find these ears are too big for you, you can also eliminate the last round, which is round 7. Now you're going to make sure that you have 2 of them, 1 in black and 1 in orange. So the first set of ears is done. Now you're going to take some pink yarn. Okay? And with that pink yarn, you're going to make a magic ring. And here's a new trick that I'm going to teach you. You're going to make a chain of 1 like so, okay? And now we're going to make something called the alternative turning chain, also known as the stacked single crochet. It counts as a double crochet. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a single crochet. And now you're going to insert your hook into the loop that's closest to your yarn finger, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over, pull through, okay? So that's a stacked single crochet and counts as a double crochet. Now you're going to do 2 more double crochets. And then you're going to close it up here on the bottom, and that makes it nice and pointy, okay? And then you're going to cut your yarn about like this, and now you have part of the nose done, okay? We're going to use the rest of the yarn to actually like make lines on the bottom, okay? So make sure you cut it a little bit longer, and so that way we can sew it on and make the lines for the mouth. So that part is done. Now we're going to make these half ovals, okay? We're going to make 2 of them. So I have 1 done. I'm going to show you the second one. It's the exact same way, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to make the exact same versions, just with an additional stitch in white, because white is super hard to see. I'm just going to tell you about it after, okay? But I first need you to understand how to make these half ovals. And the idea behind it is that it's going to be like this. So it's obviously 1 round less. And it also has 1 additional stitch less here in the center. So I'll tell you about that after. And then you're going to sew it together and you have the ears, okay? So now let's do that. Let's do the pink one in as a half oval. So I'm going to put it here on the side. So you're going to start with a chain of 5. The white one would be a chain of 6, by the way, okay? So for the pink one, chain of 5. You are now going to place 1 single crochet in the next, starting from the second chain from the hook, and then you're going to do that in the next 3 stitches in total. So there's 1 left over in the back. So let me show you. So right here, so we have 3 in a row. So 1, 2, 3, and then there's 1 left over right here. In that leftover one, you're going to place 3 single crochets. Okay, like so. Now this you can weave in here at the same time, okay? You're now going to turn your entire project 180 degrees, okay? So as you probably noticed, I went into the back bump of my chain. You can do it however you like. I like to do it that way because now that I turned 180 degrees right here, it's easier for me to see where my stitches are, okay? So remember, we used this last one right here. We put 3 in there. We're not going to do anything anymore on there. So now you're going to go into this, this, and this stitch. So there's 3 left, okay? And you're going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch. There you go. Okay, like so. Now you're going to turn your work. And so the last 3 and the first 3 and the last 3 are always 3 stitches. The way to expand onto it would be those 3 stitches we're now going to use in order to make it bigger. Okay, you'll see that in a second. So the first 3 stitches are going to be 1 single crochet per stitch. Now you probably noticed that I don't do a chain of 1 here. That chain of 1 just creates extra bulk and makes it a little bit bulky. I eliminated for single crochet, so I don't do a chain of 1. So no turning chain. Okay, that's another tip for you there. So I'm doing 3 single crochets, 1 in per stitch. So there's 3 in a row. And now in the next 3 stitches, that's the 3 stitches we put into that same stitch, right? We're now going to do 2 single crochets per stitch. Just those 3 stitches. So you should have 6 in total and then after that, okay? So that means over the next 3 stitches, you're going to place 3 decreases in total. So there we go. So I did an increase here, an increase here, an increase here. Now I have 3 stitches left. In those 3 stitches, I'm going to place 1 single crochet in each. Now I'm going to turn my work. And now we're going to do again 3 single crochets. And then here we're going to do what we usually do for the circles, right? But this time for half an oval. It's like a half circle, but you know, we're doing half of it. So you'll see. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 1 single crochet. So that's like these 3 single crochets. The beginning and the end is all the same, right? In the next 6 stitches, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do 1 single crochet and then an increase. And I repeat that 2 more times. So 1 single crochet and an increase. 1 single crochet and an increase. Okay, and then the last 3 stitches, you're going to place 1 single crochet each. There we go. Now you're done. Okay, you made those 2 half ovals. Okay, so for this one, however, as I said in the beginning, instead of doing a chain of 5, you're going to do a chain of 6. So that means where we did here 3 stitches on each side, you know, the beginning 3 stitches, this will be 4. So there will be 4 stitches on each. Remember, you have the written instructions, okay? Plus it has an additional round all the way around, okay? So the very last round has then 1 single crochet and 4 stitches. And then after that, we do that half circle, right? That will be 1 single crochet and 2 stitches, increase. 1 single crochet and 2 stitches, increase. 1 single crochet and 2 stitches, increase. And then the last 4 stitches is just 1 single crochet per stitch. Okay, so you need 2 in white of these, and then the smaller versions in pink. We're not done with the pink just yet. We're going to do one more pink thing, okay? So we're going to do an actual oval this time, all right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start in the center and we're going to work our way out, and we have in total, we have 3 rounds. So let's do that. So yeah, I hope you're learning a lot right here. There's a lot of tips that I sprinkled all the way throughout this entire pattern. There's so much fun to it. So let's get going on the oval. So you're going to make a chain of 5, okay, like so. We're now going to ignore the first chain right here. That's just like the beginning chain. We need 1, right? Then we have the first stitch and the last stitch. We're going to do the increase of 3 stitches, and then in between those 2 stitches we're just going to be regular single crochet. So let me show you what that means. Okay, so as I said, I like to go in a back bump, so you just turn your chain around, okay, and look for the back bump. Those are right here. So I'm going to go into the first stitch and I'm going to crochet 3 single crochets in the first stitch. There we go. Now in the next 2 stitches, we're going to just place 1 single crochet each. And in the last stitch right here, we're going to place again 3 single crochets. There we go. Now we naturally turned our project 180 degrees, and we have 2 more stitches here to go. So be careful where you are, okay? So we have the very first one has 3 already. The last one has 3 already. And then there's the 2 in between. So we still need to do those 2 in order to make it into a circle, okay? So right here is 1 stitch. And then here's the second stitch. And now what we're going to do is going to be a slip stitch to the first stitch. There's a few different ways to do slip stitches. I'm going to show you my version, which I absolutely love. So you're going to pull out your loop a little bit, okay? And you're going to insert your hook here from the back to the front. It's going to go right through, like so. And you're going to take your loop and you pull it back. So it's technically, if you really think about it, it's not even a slip stitch. It's more kind of a relocation of your loop, okay? And now we finished round 1. So now let's go into round 2. Round 2 is going to start, remember I'm not doing a turning chain, okay? So I'm going right into the stitch. In the very first stitch, you're going to crochet 2 single crochets. And you're doing the same for the next 2 stitches. So 2 single crochets in each. So there's 3 in total, 3 increases in total. So like so. So you're going from 3 stitches to 6 stitches. So make sure you're not going into that turning chain that was in that previous row, okay? So you have 6 stitches over here now. That was 3 increases in a row. Now you have 2 stitches right here. So 1 in each, 1 single crochet in each. And now we're back here with the 3 stitches. So we're going to do the same thing as we just did. So there's 3 increases in a row. So first increase, second increase, and third increase. And now we have 2 more stitches to go right here. So 1 single crochet in each. Again, we're going to do a slip stitch just like I did before. So you go through the first stitch, pull that loop back. It makes it nice and clean looking, and you can barely tell where the transition happens. It's really, really neat. All right, last round. You're going to go into the first stitch, you're going to crochet 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, you're going to crochet 2 single crochets. Now you're going to repeat that 2 more times. So 1 single crochet, then an increase, 1 single crochet, and an increase. Now I have 2 stitches right here. They're going to be 1 each. So 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then right here we are back on that outer half of the oval. So we're going to do what we did in the beginning. So 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and repeat that. So 1 single crochet, an increase, 1 single crochet, an increase, and now you have 2 stitches left right here, 1 single crochet in each. Finish with your invisible slip stitch, or make an invisible join at this point. Either way works. And it's time to sew that in momentarily. So now that we have this done, which is the mouth, by the way, we have with a couple more pieces to go. So one of them is right here, which is the eyes, and they're super hard to see because, you know, they're black. So I'm just going to tell you what I did. I made a magic ring, you know, chain of 1, which doesn't count, just to hold the magic ring in place, and I added 6 single crochets in a ring, and then I closed the ring. That's it. And I did that twice. That's the eyes. Okay, ta-da, the eyes. Now we have one more thing to go, which is this right here. So that's the last color that you're going to need, which is a little bit of yellow. So we're going to do 2 of these, which are the horns. Okay, so any yellow would work. I just used yellow. You can even use gray if you wanted to, whatever works for you. I just use yellow. So you're going to start with a magic ring, chain of 1. You have a lot of practice with that now, right? We're going to add 6 single crochets to the ring. Now pull your yarn here and close it up. I'm going to use my yarn end this time here as my stitch marker. Little tip, you don't always need a stitch marker. You can also use your yarn end. Now I'm going to go in the next round, okay, and there I'm going to crochet 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 single crochets in the following. Then again 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets, and now one more set, so 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets. Now that's round 2. Pull out your stitch marker, and now we're going to go into round 3, and round 3 until round 5 is just going to be 1 single crochet per stitch. Okay, so from round 3 through 5 it's 1 single crochet per stitch. And now you have those 2 horns. Now let's put the entire thing together. You're like, we have so much stuff. Now what are we actually doing? Okay, you now have 2 of these. Okay, so you have 1 in black and white and 1 in black, white, and orange. So what you're going to do, so you have now the one with black and white and the one in black, white, and orange. So what you actually do have right now is 2 different pieces, although the same. You have a cow and you have a kitty cat. Okay, and that's why I said you can totally do also black over here, because some kitty cats are just black and white, but I'm doing the one that is black, white, and orange. Okay, and then this one would be the cow. So here's the thing, this one is a reversible pattern. However, if you prefer making it into 2 separate pieces instead of reversible, that's totally fine. What you would have to do is you have to finish down here and make it more rounded the way it is here. So you actually have to continue on decreasing, okay, on both sides here. You would have to then decrease until it's more rounded over here as well, okay? And because that's not how I designed this pattern, I'm not going to film that section. However, I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to write it down, because you already learned how to do the decreases over here, right? On both pieces, actually. You did the last 2 rounds as decreases. I'm going to write down the rest of the rows for the decreases in case you want to make it into 2 separate pieces. I'm going to show you now how to make it into reversible pieces. So, okay. So before we're going to sew the entire thing together, it is recommended to add the faces and everything first, just to make sure everything looks good. Plus, it's easier to hide your yarn in that case. So that's what I'm going to do. So you're going to take your horns, and they're going to go right here. I'm going to show you one piece and how to sew it on, but the rest of it you're going to sew on your own. Okay, you're going to take the mouth, goes over here. Now, in order to make those little circles right here, I'm going to let you decide on your own on how you're going to make them. Some people like to just, you know, add like a little plastic eye on here, 2 of them, right? You can make it into like purple, you can make it black, you make little circles that have like 4 single crochets in black, and you can sew them on there. There's many different ways on how you can make those nostrils, so I'm gonna leave that up to you. You decide how you're going to do them, okay? But this goes right here. Then the eyes, you have the black eyes, right? And this is the black eyes with 6 single crochets in it, right? And as I said, you can make these circles here. The nostrils, you can make those also in black, but I would make them smaller, like 4 single crochets in that magic ring or something, or 3, and put it right here. And then we have just one more thing. You're going to take your half ovals, right, and you put them on top of each other. You're going to first sew the pink to the white, and now then once you've done that, you're going to flip these together like so, okay, and then you're going to sew it on here. I personally like it kind of more of an angle, like so, instead of forward, but you can totally do it forward. I'm going to do it more of an angle like this, and you're going to do it on both sides. You have the horns in the center, and then you have the ears here on the side, okay? And then this is the cow, okay? Now let me show you the cat, because it's actually a little less work. So we're going to have, for the cat, you're going to have the orange and the black ears. You can stuff them a little bit if you like. I'm not going to because I want to be able to flip it, and if there's any stuffing in there, it might be hard to do. So I'm going to put them right here. More of an, instead of making them just flat on there, I'm going to make it a little bit of an angle like this, okay, on both right there. And then you're going to take the nose right here and you're going to sew it on like so. And then we're going to make the eyes. Okay, I'm going to show you probably one of them, so just that you can see how to do it. The mouth is on the bottom here, and then you have the whiskers. Okay, and that part is done. And once we have both of them done, then all we have to do is flip one of them inside out, put it into the other, add a little tiny bit of polyfill, and then sew the entire piece together. And then we're done. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to show you right now how to sew on this oval right onto the center right here, and then I'm going to sew all the other pieces on, and then the very last thing, because the other pieces are done exactly the same way as the oval, okay, because showing you every piece is going to be boring for you, so I'm going to show you one way and how to sew it on, and then at the very end I'm going to show you how to do the eyes here and the mouth, okay, with the whiskers. So you're going to see how to do that for the kitty cat, and then we go from there. Sounds good? Let's put all this to the side for a second so I can show you how to do the oval part. Okay, so you're going to take your needle, just like we did before. You're going to hold this in place, okay, like so. And all you're going to do now is you're going to go in and out through your pieces. You can do through each stitch if you like. So you're going to go through here on the other side. And then you're going to go back out and you're going to go through one stitch. So think of this similar to how you would sew on a button or something. Now the other way you can do, so you can go in, out, in, out, in, out through every stitch, right? The other way you can do is you can do it like this. You can go in, out. So I went out over here on this other side, right? But I'm bending it such that I can come back in and come back out. Do you see that? So you can also go like this, so you don't have to go back and forth. So this works also. However you want to do it, however it's easier for you, you can go all the way through and then through back here. It's up to you. Just sew it on, okay? So I know some of you guys always wanted to know how I sew things on. This is how I do it, okay? Especially if you don't have polyfill in yet. This is fairly easy. Without having polyfill, this makes it very easy to sew things on. So, and we have the opening here, so might as well take advantage of it. So anyways, I'm going to sew this on, and then all the other pieces the exact same way. Just go in and out of their stitches all the way around, whatever pieces it is, and sew it on. And then I'll show you how to do the eyes and the mouth and the whiskers for the kitty cat. So I'll see you then. Alrighty, so here is now the cow. The cow is done. So you have the nose with the two tiny nostrils. I decided to go with black, but again, you can also use purple or whatever you like. The eyes, I added the horns and the ears on the side. And now I did for the cat, I did the ears on these sides. So the orange on the orange and the black over there. And now it's time for the nose. So wherever the magic ring was, that's the bottom. And the top is where you finished. Okay, so right here would be the nose. So like about here. So I'm going to sew this part on. And now we're just going to add like a little bit of it's like a little line and then a little half circle, I guess you can call it. So I'm going to go over here, make my little line. So I think about this size is fine. So there we go. And now I'm going to go back into the same spot. So you can see here's the line, the same spot. And I'm going to go over here about this. See that? How far this is? About 2 stitches over, roughly. like so. And now I'm going to go in the same spot again, and I'm going to go 2 stitches that way, but I'm going to keep this loop, and now I'm going to go 2 stitches this way, but I'm going to make sure I'm going to keep a loop over here. So watch this. So I'm going to have a loop like this. I'm going to do the same over here. So I'm going to go back in here, same spot. And now wherever I want the loop to be on the bottom, that's where I'm going to come out. So right here. I'm going to make sure that the loop here on this side is the same. It's about the same, roughly. Now I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So what you're doing is you're going to go around this loop pretty much. You see this one is still loose, right? But we're going to go around it, and we're going to do the same over here. Now I'm not going to pull very hard yet, because that way I can adjust my loops so to make sure they're tight. So I'm going to go back in here. There we go. So now it's time to adjust my loops here a little bit. So this is a little bit loose, so I'm going to pull this, and I'm going to pull over here, and there we go. Now I have a tiny mouth. Okay. If you need to adjust more, you can always pull a little bit more if you need to. It's totally fine. Okay, and now it's time for the eyes and the whiskers. So I already did 1/2, so you can see how it's going to look like. So now we're just going to do the other half. Okay, so we're going to put the eyes over here. We're going to do the exact same idea as this, just upside down. So do it from the inside and kind of guide yourself. So we did about a stitch over from the nose, so that means it's about here. So I'm going to come out here, and then I did 1, 2, 3 stitches over. So 1, 2, 3. About like this. And now we just need to go up here and go back out. Here. And go around this, like so. So it looks like this. And we're going to go back in here, same spot. And then you can adjust all the loops here a little bit. You pull where you need to pull. There we go. And then we have the eyes. And now we just do the whiskers, which I did over here. I did 1, 2 rows down. So 1, 2, which would be about here. Like so. And I went over roughly 1, 2, 3 stitches and up. So 1, 2, 3 and up. So let your stitches guide you so you know exactly where to go. And then I went down here, so 1, 2, 3 over, like so. And there we go. We have the kitty cat. So now we have the cat and we have the cow, and now we need to put one inside the other. So let me weave in this end and then I'll show you. All right, I flipped the kitty cat inside out, and now I'm going to stuff it inside the cow. So for me, what I like to do is I match the black with the black, and that way the orange matches the black on this side. Okay, so when you flip it, the head is on the other side for the cat, which is fine. And now everything is stuffed. So what you now need to do is you need to put a little bit more polyfill inside here, okay? So how much? Well, you don't want to overstuff it, but you want to put something inside, okay? And that will be kind of in between these layers. So like here and kind of all the way around. And then we're going to sew this on. We have some black here and we have some white, so that way we can sew this together. So I just tested out that I can flip it, and that's important. So if you overstuff it, you can't flip it. So as you can see, I haven't sewn it together yet, but if you want to flip it, you just push it through like so. And if it works, you know you didn't overstuff it, right? So that's important. So now that it works and I didn't put too much stuffing inside, I can now sew it together. So what you're going to do is you're pretty much going to sew the white together and the black together, okay? So what I like to do is I just like to go through it, so back and forth. I like to do it as in a running stitch, kind of, okay, where I can go in and out. So as you can see, like this, that's the running stitch. If you like to do it with the whip stitch goes from the top, so it's like loops. So I'm just going to do it like this. It's just to show you, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to keep it that way. So, and let me show you how the mattress stitch looks like in case you want to choose that. So the mattress stitch, you're simply going to go in and out of a stitch like this. Again, I'm going to keep it loose because I'm going to pull it back out. And then you go to the opposite side and you're also going in and out. And then you're going to pull, okay? That brings these V's together like a mouth, like two lips kissing, okay? But because I feel like this is best to do in a way where you can flip it easily, I feel like the running stitch is the easiest stitch for this, and it doesn't make it as obvious. All the other stitches may make it a little bit more obvious, and this looks actually kind of neat and clean, especially because we're flipping this. So now you're just going to go in and out like this, running like a running stitch, and you're going to sew this together. So I'm going to do all the white, and then I'm going to do all the black, and then I'll show you the finished product. And then you're done. So we have a cow on one side, and once you flip it around, just squeeze it through, and then you push in with your hand there a little bit, and then you have the kitty cat. Of course, you can also just put your hand inside and you can play with it that way. So you have many options here. And as I said, you can also make it in a way that you have two pieces, one cat, one cow, without the flipping part if you like. But I really like it. It's super duper cute. It's squishy. There is polyfill inside. And as I mentioned, if you want to make this as a non-reversible one, you can also do so. I have finished my other one, the one that I started for part 1, so the pink and purple. So you can also see how it looks like if you do it as a non-reversible. So as I said, this is reversible with the kitty cat on the inside. I actually prefer this one because I always like multi-purpose, using it for different things, right? Plus you can put your hand on it and really like play with it, right? And then this one is a simple squish cow, obviously as a one only, and I have the written pattern for that as well. So check the link down below in the description for that if you want the last little section here that we didn't have over here. Okay, so I have it written down, and as you can see, I also changed up the little bit the colors for the cow, and I moved the eyes over. I just wanted to have a different version for the cow, just so that you can see what else you can do, right? So you, instead of making these nostrils right here in black, you can also just, you know, make lines of it and like sew it on. That works too. You can see you can put the eyes on the outside, you can put the eyes on the inside, whatever works for you. Here I also decided to make the horns white instead of yellow, just that you have a version of that as well. And I matched the ears with the background. So here it's pink pink and then purple purple, versus here I made both ears white. Okay, so just that you can see a variety of what you can do. Obviously this is the back, so pretty much the same, right? And just this part is reversed because, you know, I put it on one side versus the other side. It doesn't really matter. You put it on whatever side works best for you. So anyways, I am super excited to have finished this pattern with you all. I hope you learned so many tips in this quick little pattern, either a reversible 2-in-1 or just one or two of them separately from each other. This was so many tips all in one, all while making a cute little pattern. So make sure if you want to learn even more tips, because this was just the tip of the iceberg, there's so much more below it, right? There's so much more. I want to teach you everything. So come join the Tips Crochet Party, okay? But before you do so, which is, by the way, tomorrow, April 20th at noon Pacific time, okay, so 12 o'clock Pacific time, which is 3 o'clock Eastern time. So if you're going to join the party, make sure that you post your pictures of your finished product, either 2 of these, 1 of these, or the reversible one. We all want to see them. Use the hashtag APR24MCAL, so MCAL, and post it into the Facebook group Crocheting with Nikki so that we can see your final product. Your deadline to post your images to be part of the giveaway, there's going to be 3 winners, okay, is going to be tomorrow, April 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So 2 hours before the party is the deadline. So make sure you submit your pictures. We want to see them and celebrate you, okay? And then we're going to talk all about this, as well as the many, many more tips that you can learn all at the Crochet Tips Party. I better see you there because we always have a huge blast. It's going to be so much fun. So my little cows and Hidden Kitty Cat are telling you, come join the Crochet Tips Party. I'll see you there. You should see the link of the video right here, so make sure you click on it, and then of course tap on the notification button so that YouTube can notify you. You're already on my email list, right? That way I'll also send you a reminder for that as well. I'll see you at the Crochet Tips Party. Now remember, I have a membership called the Crochet Club, and it has over 400 ad-free patterns with checkoff boxes and additional tutorials, VIP access to me teaching you every single week what you want to be taught, whether it's stitches, tips, amigurumi, little patterns, or anything else. On a monthly basis, we vote on what you want to see the next month, and every week I go live and teach you exactly what you want to be taught. So come join my membership if you want to get my patterns ad-free and get a really fun community with it, as well as me teaching you exactly what you want to be taught. I'll see you in the membership. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the bell to get a notification next time I publish a new video or go live. Now go ahead and watch the next video. I'm sure you want to. I'll see you next time. Bye.